The first myth is basically not all thoughts are what?
Not all thoughts are equal.
It it depends on what you believe, because what you accept as your truth is your own conscious awareness. And so, like, the reality is every thought we like to think, and I'll be the first to admit that this is what I used to think. I used to think that every thought is just racing in and I can't control this. And this is something that is very much coming my way for no reason other than like, this is life and it's terrible. Right. And so,
now that's a quote we got to get on a hoodie for merch. This is life and it's terrible.
I mean, because that's what we all like. That's what we're grown up to believe. You can't do anything about it. They are what they are, deal with it. Right. And so, but at the end of the day, like, if you really dig down into how those thoughts came into your own awareness in the first place, you were the one that gave the energy from your attention to focus on that thing that ultimately allowed it to be something that came into you that you were constituting as negative, you were constituting as intrusive, you were constituting as, why does this keep coming? Well, the reality is everything has a cause, and that cause is always you. But it's so hard for us to accept that. But that's the reality, and that's the law of life. And so when you look back and you reflect on these things, as you gave in that example, like, why did this dentist appointment, like your in that example, the reaction was anger. So you gave it all that charged energy of, I don't want this to happen. And so what did that do? You gave it that charged energy of anger. And so what did that, because you charged it so strongly with that anger, it kept giving back to you all these thoughts, because that's what you charged it with. That's what you charged it with. And then if you're going to get angry about, whatever's happening in society and the world, then you gave that your attention. Can you actually do something about that in that moment? Probably not. Is that something that, has reason for people to pay attention to solve for at some point? Probably. Absolutely. Right. For the goodness of people and the goodness of the world. Absolutely. But the reality is you can't do anything about that right now. But you're allowing that through your attention to come into your life and to take over your moments, and to allow it to be something that just, like you blame on something else because there's nothing else to do. And that's our first reaction, because that's how our society teaches us how to operate with it. Right. But when you start to take ownership for these things, and you start to say that, you start to feel that you have the ability to control these things, even if in the beginning it doesn't feel that way, because you might try something and you might not experience a difference. It still is within your ability to do that, because nothing is impossible. Only what you define as impossible is impossible. And so these are big things. Like, controlling your thoughts is a big thing. And so, but you don't get to a point, if you accept what this says as a myth, like every thought is different. Well, like, yes, every thought is, not all thoughts are equal, but they're all the causes of your thoughts and the energy that's charged with them and the frequency they come in, and the heaviness with which they come in, or at the lightness with which they come in, is all driven by what you accept as truth in your own world.